Sounds hard to believe, doesn't it? But that's Belgium, a magical land where you can spend the night in an 800-year-old castle, savor UNESCO-recognized beer, immerse yourself in majestic nature, and discover a unique culture, all for about 55% of the cost of living compared to the US. In today's travel documentary, join us as we embark on an adventure to explore the 15 strangest and most amazing facts about Belgium. Super number 15, Belgium, Europe's small yet mighty heart. Belgium, a land full of surprises. Can you believe that? A country only about 11,800 square miles, smaller than the US state of Maryland, is the strategic and cultural heart of Europe? That's the Kingdom of Belgium. Nestled between France, the Netherlands, Germany, and Luxembourg, like a bustling crossroads of the old continent. What does this prime location mean? It means you can have breakfast in Brussels, lunch in Paris, and still be in time for dinner in Amsterdam. A dream itinerary only possible in Belgium. As of 2025, Belgium has a population of about 11.7 million, but it proudly boasts 3 official languages: Dutch, around 60%, French, around 40%, and German, around 1%. The interesting thing is that Belgians can switch languages as easily as flipping TV channels, a rare skill globally. You can even travel between 3 towns just a few miles apart, and each place speaks a completely different language. The climate is mild year-round, similar to Seattle in the US, but Belgians drink more beer than coffee. With 4 distinct seasons, cool summers around 21 degrees Celsius, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and mild winters, it's truly an ideal destination. And guess what? The headquarters of the EU, NATO, along with a thriving craft beer culture are all concentrated here. It's a small country where you can slow down, live well, and enjoy the quintessential European lifestyle at less than half the cost of living in Paris. Manneken Pis, the world's strangest national symbol. In the center of Brussels, Belgium's capital, there is a small statue, less than 60 centimeters or about 2 feet tall, but it brings joy to the whole world. Manneken Pis, a statue of a little boy, peeing naughtily. For over 400 years, Manneken Pis has become the spiritual symbol of the Belgian people. What makes this little boy special? He doesn't just stand still, he's constantly dressed in new outfits, boasting a collection of over 1,000 official costumes. On US Independence Day, July 4th, he transforms into a Texas cowboy with a full hat. On France's Bastille Day, he becomes an 18th century French soldier. They even have a NASA astronaut costume. Each outfit is meticulously crafted and carefully preserved at the Garderobe Museum, literally a national wardrobe. Manneken Pis is not just a statue, he symbolizes Belgian freedom, humor, and hospitality. Though small, he represents a nation that dares to laugh, dares to live differently, and has captured the hearts of millions of tourists. You can go to New York to see the Statue of Liberty, but in Belgium, freedom sometimes begins with a small fountain that has been flowing for 4 centuries. Super number 13, the world's comic strip capital. When you think of Belgium, you might think of chocolate or beer. But did you know that Belgium is also the unofficial comic strip capital of the world? This is the home of iconic characters who have captivated millions across the planet. The brave reporter Tintin, the small blue village of the Smurfs, or the cowboy Lucky Luke, who shoots faster than his own shadow. Comics are not just entertainment in Belgium. They are a national art form, an indispensable part of culture and identity. In Brussels, you'll see this most clearly. There's a magnificent Belgian comic strip center, housed in a stunning Art Nouveau building designed by the famous architect Victor Horta. This is where you can explore the history, techniques, and diversity of Belgian comic strips. But even more interesting is that you'll encounter comics everywhere in the city. Brussels even has a comic strip route with dozens of giant murals depicting Belgian comic characters all over buildings. Walking around Brussels feels like stepping into a giant comic book, a unique and colorful visual experience found nowhere else. From dusty old bookstores to subway station walls, the spirit of Belgian comics is present everywhere, showing the special appreciation the people have for this ninth art. Super number 12, Durbuy, the strange village without straight roads. Nestled among the lush green forests of the Wallonia region is Durbuy, one of the most unique and charming places in Belgium. Although it's only a tiny 0.3 square miles, Durbuy still holds the title of city thanks to its ancient castle, church, and urban history dating back to the 14th century. The most special thing? Every road in the village winds and curves like a medieval maze. There isn't a single straight section. The streets are paved with original cobblestones, each stone seemingly telling a piece of history. Instead of rebuilding, the locals here choose to preserve the architecture. The architecture in Durbuy is a unique blend of wooden houses from the French mountains and low-arched stone houses from the Flanders region, with thick walls, old wooden doors, and sloping roofs covered in gray slate. Many houses over 300 years old are still inhabited or have been renovated into bakeries, eateries, or traditional wool craft shops, creating an authentic rhythm of life that hasn't been overly commercialized. Even more interestingly, Durbuy also has Durbuy Castle located in the forest, which remains privately owned and overlooks the village like something out of a fairy tale. And the most remarkable part? Right in the center of the village is the Topiary Park, the largest topiary garden in Europe, with over 250 works trimmed into shapes of dragons, dolphins, and even funny cartoon characters. There are even Michelin-starred restaurants where you can enjoy foie gras or wine in a fairy tale setting, reminiscent of Hans Christian Andersen's stories. Super number 11, Unique Coffee Culture Rainy Day Coffee. If you think coffee is just a drink to stay awake, Belgians will show you it's an entire art of living. In Belgium, especially in cities like Bruges, Ghent, or Liège, coffee is an excuse to slow down, watch the rain, read a book, and observe the world without needing to rush or say anything. A particularly fascinating spot in Bruges is a coffee shop called Rainy Days Coffee Shop, which only opens on rainy days. The owner, an elderly artist, believes that only when it rains can people be quiet enough to truly savor a cup of coffee. The menu is small, the chairs are simple wood, but regulars say they find a rare sense of tranquility here. In Ghent, there are even coffee shops without Wi-Fi like Tio Espresso Bar, where you are encouraged to read, talk, or simply listen to the gentle clinking of spoons in the next person's cup. A return to the 90s, no screens, no social media, just people and expertly crafted cappuccinos. Belgians don't drink coffee in a hurry like in American cities. They often sit outside even when it's chilly, sipping for hours, especially on weekends. You'll see families from grandparents to little ones gathered at cafes, chatting and sharing a small tart. You'd be surprised to know that almost every cup of coffee in Belgium comes with a free chocolate praline, a warm welcome. Some cafes are even located in old train cars or nestled in ancient bookstores with soft jazz music playing on weekends. Number 10, the nation of cycling. Belgium is home to many of the world's most challenging classic cycling races, famous for their cobbled sections called Kasseien, or Pave, and demanding steep hills. Races like the Tour of Flanders or Ronde van Vlaanderen and Liège-Bastogne-Liège, the oldest race, attract hundreds of thousands of fans who line the streets to cheer. The sight of exhausted riders conquering rough cobbled roads under the roar of the crowd is a symbol of Belgian endurance and willpower. The passion for cycling isn't just for professional athletes. In Belgium, cycling is a way of life. Streets are equipped with bike-friendly infrastructure, and you'll see people of all ages using bikes to commute to work, school, or simply for leisure rides. The feeling of cycling on peaceful rural roads or winding through ancient cobblestone streets is a quintessential Belgian experience. This sport embodies the resilient spirit, love for nature, and active lifestyle of the Belgian people. You've probably heard of carrier pigeons, but what about cat postmen? In 1879, the city of Liège in eastern Belgium actually experimented with a super innovative postal service, cats as mail carriers. At that time, 37 cats were chosen to transport love letters in a way never seen before. Each cat was fitted with a small fabric bag holding handwritten letters, then released into rural areas about 12 to 30 miles away from Liège. What's astonishing is that 11 cats found their way back to the city within 5 to 24 hours. One particularly speedy feline even completed the trip in just 5 hours and 30 minutes, astonishing all of Europe at the time. However, some postmen decided to take a nap or got lost exploring the countryside, meaning your letter might remain a secret forever. Would you dare to send a love letter by cat? If you find this story amusing, leave a number 6 in the comments below. In the Wallonia region of southern Belgium, there's a place that makes you feel like stepping into the final chapter of a classic novel. Château de Heste, a castle built in the 13th century, standing strong for over 800 years and still operational today. The best part? You can rent the entire castle through Airbnb or booking to sleep, dine and live like true medieval nobility. The castle boasts 17 bedrooms, a magnificent grand hall, an ancient stone kitchen, and a French garden overlooking the winding River Lay amidst oak forests. The cost is around $2,800 per night, but when divided among a group of 18 people, it's just over $150 per person per night, cheaper than the price of a double room in Paris. Dinner is served by candlelight in the 600-year-old dining room, beside an authentic wood-burning fireplace. The most exciting part, at nearby Château de Petit Somme, an ancient abbey, you can participate in a live-like nobility program, where you learn 18th century European dining etiquette, brew tea like aristocrats using silver teapots, sample ancient pastry recipes, and write letters with a quill pen, sealing them with wax, all while still enjoying strong Wi-Fi and pristine forest views right outside your window. This isn't a museum or a simulation, it's a time machine that you can book and actually live in. In 2022, Brussels' Winter Wonders Market surpassed over 100 European cities to be awarded the title of the world's most beautiful Christmas market by European Best Destinations, a prestigious award voted for by over 320,000 international travelers. The event takes place at the Grand Place, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, where 17th century buildings are adorned with thousands of warm golden lights, making you feel like you're strolling through a living snow globe. What's unique is that the facade of the town hall transforms into a giant light stage, where every 30 minutes a synchronized light show takes place, combined with classical Christmas music, all controlled by modern 3D mapping technology. Additionally, the giant Ferris wheel, 180 feet tall, the tallest Christmas attraction in Europe, allows you to admire panoramic views of the snow-covered city from above. There's also an ice rink in the old town, over 200 wooden stalls selling chocolate, craft beer, wooden toys, and a children's village where kids can bake cookies and write letters to Santa Claus. And here's a little-known fact. Every year, the Christmas tree at the Grand Place is gifted by a different Belgian town as a ritual of cultural unity, often coming from the Wallonia region, and decorated with the theme of light and peace. Belgium is home to traditional festivals that are both vibrant and strange, making you feel like you've stumbled into a lively European fairy tale. Start with the Carnaval de Bench, recognized by UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage. Here you'll meet the Gilles men in colorful costumes, wearing wax masks and enormous ostrich feather hats. They parade, dance, and throw oranges into the crowd as a way of bestowing good luck. In Binche, this is considered a national honor. Fast forward to August when the Grand Place in Brussels transforms into a living painting with the largest flower carpet in Europe. Over 500,000 fresh begonia flowers are arranged according to stunning themes. From the town hall balcony, you'll feel like you're stepping into a classic Disney animation. If you love festivals, don't miss the Ghent Festival, Gentse Feesten, one of the largest street festivals in Europe. For 10 sleepless days and nights, the city of Ghent turns into an outdoor stage with live music, puppets, beer stands, street art, and over 1 million visitors from all over Europe. Yet it still maintains the friendly, cozy atmosphere of a village party. Belgium is the homeland of René Magritte, one of the greatest surrealist painters of the 20th century. But there's something even more interesting than his paintings. Surrealism seems to exist not just in art, but is also deeply embedded in the very spirit and daily life of Belgium. Like Magritte's paintings, where ordinary objects are placed in strange contexts creating surprise and reflection, Belgium is also where things that seem impossible actually happen, like cat postmen, rainy day coffee, villages without straight roads. This strangeness, humor, and sometimes mystery are the essence of Belgian surrealism, and it reflects the unique soul of the people here. They aren't afraid to challenge the ordinary, finding beauty and humor in the unexpected. From unusual architecture and unique festivals to the way they enjoy beer or chocolate, there's always a touch of surreal in Belgian life. Like a Magritte painting, you need to pause, reflect, and accept that things don't necessarily follow ordinary logic. It's a special charm that makes Belgium unpredictable and utterly captivating. Belgium isn't just famous for chocolate, Belgium is the chocolate capital of the world. The chocolate industry here is elevated to an art form, with a history stretching back hundreds of years and incredibly high-quality standards. What makes Belgian chocolate different? It's the meticulous attention to every step, from selecting the finest cacao beans to the unique roasting and conching techniques. In particular, Belgium is famous for pralines chocolates filled with various creams, fruits, nuts. First created by Jean Neuhaus II in Brussels in 1912. Each praline is a tiny work of art with a thin chocolate shell and a filling that bursts with flavor. You'll find thousands of chocolatiers all over Belgium, from world-renowned brands to small family-owned shops that have existed for generations. On average, each Belgian consumes nearly 13 pounds, about 6 kilograms, of chocolate per year, showing how much they love this treat. There's even a chocolate museum, Choco Story, in Bruges and Brussels where you can learn the history, production process, and of course, sample delicious chocolates considered sweeter than a first kiss. For Belgians, chocolate isn't just a dessert, it's a national pride, a refined gift, and an indispensable part of life's special moments. If chocolate is the sweet pride, then beer is Belgium's soul, a UNESCO-recognized cultural heritage. Belgium proudly boasts being home to over 1,600 unique beers, each with a distinct flavor, story, and a specific beer glass. That's right, in Belgium, drinking beer isn't just about choosing the type of beer, it's also about choosing the right glass. Each type of beer, from rich Trappist beers brewed by monks, naturally sour lambic beers fermented spontaneously to light blonde beers or strong triple beers, has a specifically designed glass to optimize its flavor, foam, and aroma. There are tall and slender glasses, tulip-shaped glasses, stemmed glasses, or even chalice-like glasses. Belgian beer culture is incredibly rich and diverse. There are beer cafes that have existed for hundreds of years where you can find hundreds of different beers served by people who know each type inside and out. UNESCO recognized Belgian beer culture as intangible cultural heritage of humanity in 2016, emphasizing the important role of beer in the social life, cuisine, and traditions of the nation. Enjoying beer in Belgium isn't just drinking. It's a ritual, an endless flavor exploration, and a way to connect with the country's history and culture. That's why Belgium is considered a paradise for beer connoisseurs. Belgium is an ideal choice, especially if you're looking for a place with a reasonable cost of living that still offers high-end amenities. A one-bedroom apartment in central Brussels or Antwerp currently costs around $1,000 to $1,250 per month to rent. If you choose to live a bit further from the center, you can find options ranging from $800 to $1,000 monthly. Utility costs, including electricity, water, heating, gas, and high-speed internet, range from $200 to $250, providing a cozy winter experience. Food here is not only delicious but also budget-friendly. Someone who shops and cooks at home spends about $350 to $450 per month. Meanwhile, dining at a casual restaurant costs between $18 to $25 per meal. Public transport is extremely reliable, with a monthly pass costing about $60 nationwide. Gym costs are also quite reasonable, starting from $35 to $45, and a basic dental checkup is only about $50 to $80. In total, one person can live comfortably in Belgium for only about $1,650 to $1,950 per month. This figure is only 50 to 60% of the cost in New York or San Francisco, and nearly 30% lower than the average cost of living in Western Europe. The interesting part is, you get to live in the heart of Europe, sip Belgian beer, and stroll on cobblestone streets without worrying too much about the budget. Finally, let's talk about the cuisine. Belgium is a paradise of refined food, where even French fries and waffles are treated as works of art. Let's start with waffles, a familiar dish but surprisingly complex. Belgians have two schools, the Brussels waffle square, crispy and light, often served with whipped cream and strawberries like a dessert in a five-star hotel. Conversely, the Liège waffle round, dense with crunchy caramelized sugar pockets inside, is the street food that makes tourists stop in their tracks. The interesting thing is that Belgians often don't pour syrup on waffles, and typically enjoy them in the afternoon as part of a slow-living ritual. And what about French fries? Belgian fries, often called frites, are double-fried in beef fat, crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. They are served with over 15 different dipping sauces, from traditional mayonnaise and curry sauce to truffle sauce. Although Americans call them French fries, Belgians proudly believe this dish is their own invention and see it as a national pride. Summer is a great time to enjoy Moules-frites mussels steamed in white wine served with fries. This dish is likened to the Belgian version of clam chowder, a perfect combination of sea flavors and the richness of the fries. And as mentioned above, we can't forget Belgian beer with over 1,600 unique types, each with its own glass recognized by UNESCO. Perhaps nowhere else in the world do street foods hold such a respected position. We've just explored 15 unique and captivating facts about Belgium together. We hope this has given you a fresh perspective on this small yet impressive country. Belgium isn't just a dot on the European map, it's a miniature world of strange, beautiful, delicious, and surprising things. A place truly worth discovering and experiencing. Don't forget to follow our channel, hit like and share this video to support us. See you in our next travel documentaries.